Good morning, everyone, and welcome
Good morning.
to Wendy Wednesday. As you can see, I am joined by my friends, Rita and Leo Schlüsselberg from RiverWalk. And you're fine. You don't need a microphone because you already have it right there.
Oh.
And we're wearing our masks today because we're a little bit closer than usual since we have an added guest. So what we're going to do is get to some news, and then we're going to chat. Okay?
Lovely.
Okay, so today is Wednesday, October 7th. The weather is actually really nice. It's warm. It's going to be 75 today, but they said it's going to actually be very windy. They said it's going to be 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. So hang on to your hat, as they say, but I do hope you get outside because it is really beautiful fall weather. We have some news to get to, which first we're going to talk, I think, about our meals for the day. So before we do that, I just want to remind our viewers that on this Wendy Wednesday, we're doing giveaways yet again because they've been such a big hit. So as you know, the rules of the game is you guess how many items are in the jar, and whoever guesses the closest amount without going over the number gets to win the contents of the jar. And if we have a tie, we just split it up equally, which is what I think happened last week with our shampoos, our conditioners, and lotion, hand lotion we had last week too. So we went back to the sweet stuff, which I know, Leo, you have a sweet tooth. This is filled with Hershey's chocolates. Yum, yum, yum. So for our viewers, how many chocolates do you think are in the jar? Leo's looking at this very carefully.
I would say some 15.
15. Okay, so we have our first guess. Rita, do you want to guess?
18.
Okay, so Olivia, we have 15 and 18 from Rita and from Leo. And if you guys want to call in, remember our extension is 1526. You can call right from your room, 1526. Give us a call at any time during the show. Let us know how many Hershey's chocolates are in the jar, and you can win them, and I'll hand deliver them right after the show. Okay, so take a close look.
Maybe 20.
Oh, boy, you already guessed, Leo.
20.
Okay, yum, 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 right in time for Halloween. So give us a call, 1526. Tell us how many chocolates, and they could be yours. Sounds good, right?
And I will not eat the chocolate.
Yes, because then the number will change. If Leo keeps popping, right? If you keep eating it, then it's going to go down. So no, we can't let you eat the chocolate during the show. Okay, so give us a call. Remember, it's 1526. Okay, we'd love to hear from you. So let's talk about today's menu. For lunch, we're going to be serving chicken schnitzel with bruschetta sauce with baked potato and mandarin oranges for dessert. And for dinner, we're serving cream of spinach soup with French toast and syrup and baked apples with apricots for dessert. Sounds pretty good. So today in history, let's take a look. The movie The French Connection with Gene Hackman, that premiered in 1971. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yes, I did. It was wonderful.
You know, I've never
Very
seen
exciting.
it. I know it's like a classic.
It's a very exciting movie.
Okay.
Very exciting.
Okay, Leo, you like that movie too?
I know in 2 days from now, we celebrate a birthday.
Whose birthday?
Her sister.
Oh, okay. Happy early birthday to your sister.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you know the French Connection actually won the Academy Award for Best Picture the year after it came out? In 1982, the musical Cats premiered on Broadway. Did you guys happen to see the show?
No, we didn't, but that had a long run.
I know, 18 years actually. I saw that show on Broadway. I have to say I did not love it. You know, they had a movie about
Yes.
it, and that was like a big flop in the movies. So I don't know how many people saw that, but that wasn't such a
Well,
good
an
hit.
18-year run is a pretty good run.
I know. I know. Let's see. Let's talk some more about today. So, you know, there's always these unusual kind of offbeat holidays, and today is Bald and Free Day, and it's a day to cherish and appreciate the freedom that comes with being bald. Now, Leo, you are not bald. You got a nice head of hair there. But, you know, for all of our bald viewers, it is actually a trend. There's a lot of celebrities who are actually shaving their heads while in quarantine, including David Beckham and Blake Shelton. So it's a trend. So that's a little bit about today. We have two residents who are celebrating birthdays today. They are Eileen D and Escolastica E. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And we have one staff member celebrating a birthday, Tressie Ma from nursing. So happy birthday to you. There were some notable people who had birthdays today too. Simon Cowell and Desmond Tutu. Your birthday horoscope says if you feel you deserve more from life financially, then speak up about it. There is no end of wealth out there in the world, and a significant slice of it should be coming your way. That sounds pretty good. But you do need to let the powers that be know what it is you desire. So that's pretty promising. Maybe you should go out and buy a lottery ticket, right? So happy birthday. Happy birthday to everyone who is celebrating today. So now we get to the good part of our show, which is our interview segment. And Leo, you know, I first got to know you both 4 years ago because we did a story together.
2016.
That's right. Hold on. I actually...
19. Yeah,
2016. Yeah.
2016.
Hold on. I actually brought it, but I put it on the table behind me so that our viewers can see. So Leo is a tremendous swimmer. Rita and Leo live in RiverWalk, but Leo comes regularly, or had come regularly, to the swimming pool.
That's right.
To swim. And the Wall Street Journal was very interested in Leo. I don't know if we can pan in on this, but the Wall Street Journal actually did a huge story about him, and Leo became quite famous.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, Leo, maybe you could talk to us about your passion for swimming.
And very proud.
Yes, tell us about that. What kind of stroke do you like to do?
Well, I take the breaststroke.
Okay.
You should add, till February I was swimming.
Till February, okay.
This February.
Well, hopefully
Then
you'll
you
be back
brought
to
the
it.
virus came out, so.
Right, right. And how did you get into swimming? Did you do that when you were a kid, or?
Well, when I was 15, 16, we lived off Tel Aviv in a place called Nebarak. And we wanted to go to the ocean to swim. So at that time, it was like this. We didn't have money. So I waited till a man with a carriage, with a horse and a carriage, went to Tel Aviv. And I asked him to take me for a ride. When we came to Tel Aviv, I walked to the beach. And in April, start swimming, brum, into the waves.
That was your first time swimming?
Well, yeah, I would say so.
That's pretty courageous, swimming right into the waves. Did you love it?
Straight into the waves.
And you loved it right away?
I love it very much till today.
Rita, do you swim?
Somewhat.
Do you swim here, or?
No, as a youngster, I did swim. But when I went to Israel, that was the end of the swimming because I got married and had children. But I do use the pool on occasion. I do a side stroke, and I do a lot of exercise in the pool because I find that the exercise in the pool is much more relaxing and it is much more helpful than doing exercise on a chair or standing.
Yeah, they say it's very good for you, and very easy on the muscles, right? Because
well, in particular, I had a new hip replacement, and between therapy and swimming, I can walk now without any assistance.
Wow.
So it's very good.
That's great. What were you going to say, Leo?
Well, besides swimming, after swimming, I did half an hour exercise therapy every day, stretching and all kinds of things in the water, which is the best thing.
Yeah.
Being I didn't have a pool at the time when I came here, in the winter, I filled up the tub with cold water, not lukewarm, cold water, and I was sitting there and relaxing. So I was used to water.
Yeah, that sounds great. So maybe you could share with our viewers how you two met and tell us about your love story. How about that, Rita?
That's to make a movie about
She's covering
it.
her face. We're in trouble. All right, let's hear it.
Well,
Say it loudly.
I immigrated to Israel in 1949 with my family.
She doesn't hear.
At the time, it was very difficult for an Anglo-Saxon. We were not accepted because of the British mandate on Israel. So it was rather uncomfortable, and I was at the time 18. So I had a little difficulty adjusting, which seems to be part of my character.
No.
And I met a young man, and we dated, but he was not religious, and I came from a religious family.
Okay.
I met an American young woman there who was my age, and we became very friendly. And she was irritated by the fact that I was dating an irreligious boy. So she was going to ask her boyfriend to bring a friend for me, and we would double date. And that was what we did. And we walked along the beach, and the friend she brought was very short, and I was a buxom lady. I did not speak Hebrew. He would refuse to speak Yiddish because he was a Holocaust survivor.
Okay.
And he didn't know English, so communication was very limited. Toward the end of the date, he said goodbye and left. And my girlfriend's date said, you know what, I will take her home, and then I will take you home, and then I will go home, because geographically, this was the setup.
Okay.
Well, her date took her home, and then he took me home. And then we sat and we spoke for several hours. And my mother came out and said, young lady, in. And he said something to me, who was this gentleman,
Okay.
my best friend's boyfriend. He said something to me which I did not understand. It was in German.
To verloben.
I didn't understand. I went to my brother-in-law, who was Austrian, and I said to him, Kurt, what does this word mean? And he said, who said it to you? I said, I don't know, some guy I met yesterday. So he said, I don't want you to ever see him again. And if my brother-in-law said that, I accepted it.
Okay.
Well, I went to Ulpan at night, and that's a school to teach you Hebrew.
Okay.
And as I come out of the school, who was sitting and waiting for me? My girlfriend's boyfriend.
Oh.
I worked at that time for Mizrahi. I come out of work, who was standing and waiting for me? My girlfriend's boyfriend. So I called my girlfriend. I said, Rita, what should I do? She said, he hasn't asked me out anymore, so go with him. He never proposed, but we're married next year, 70 years.
Wow.
And we have 4 children. And I dragged on in the river on a boat. I gave her a hard time.
Leo, was it love at first sight? Did you know Rita was the girl for you?
Yeah. Why? Where I worked, I used to be a diamond cutter, polishing the diamonds. You know, the surface and the facets. He told me, Leo, I date a girl. She's from a religious home. This is the girl for you. So I said, okay, introduce me. Oh, no, I'm going with her. So he told me about the father, about the mother, the brother, the sister. It's like I knew the family. That's why when I met her, I said, you know, once you know me better, we can get engaged, because I knew her. And we never proposed, and we have 4 children.
So what does that
Not
mean?
babies.
What does that mean you never proposed? So
He
you
never
got on
asked
one
me
knee?
never asked me to marry him.
I invited once her parents to come to visit my parents to see where we live. While we were sitting there, her mother drops a dish or a glass, a dish, I think.
That
And she
was
says,
a sign-
Mazel tov.
Judaism, that's a sign of engagement.
Really? The dropping of a dish?
Yes.
Mazel
Drop
tov
a
means
dish,
good
and
luck.
It means
So who dropped the dish?
my mother.
So
She was very, very earthy, my mother. And she said, look, you're taking her out. You've gone out several times. That's it. Finished.
So she did the proposing for you, basically.
Well, she said, mister, get on the horse.
I want to add something.
Okay.
A few years later, we took a trip to Israel. We used to go every year to Israel from here, you know. and was sitting a man, and he tells us his wife died.
Oh, yeah.
What's the wife's name?
The girlfriend.
Her girlfriend died of cancer. So God blessed me that he sent me somebody else, and we will be next year. We are married 70 years, same wife, same husband. And you know what the secret is?
Oh, yes, that's my next question. Tell us.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Tell us.
Everything has to be her way.
Except
With the exception, what has to be my way.
So, Rita, what's your secret for the successful marriage? Tell us.
Well, I think you have to be. When I got married, my mother said to me, marriage is not 50-50. You give 80, and all you expect is 20. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't work.
Well, it's clearly working because you
Well,
have a strong bond. Have been together
We have
for
a
so
very
many
strong
years.
bond, and our children have strong bonds amongst themselves, which is really for us a blessing.
And so, tell us, when was the last time you've been to Israel?
Before we moved in here. But I will be going next year because one of our daughters, who is now 57 and a mother of 3 children, is getting her doctorate.
Wow.
And I'm going to that ceremony.
Oh my.
The reason we were so attached to Israel, because I was in independence war. I was in Israel. I was a soldier. And I was a soldier before there was an army. In other words, Haganah, maybe you heard. I was a Haganah member. And 1948, in end of February or 1st of March, comes a British tanker driver with a tank and takes our convoy to a place called Ben Shemen. We were surrounded by 3 Arab cities, Lida, Ramle, Bet Nabala. And we were about 100, give or take. And it was a farming village and a youth village, a youth school. They took out the farmers, they took out the children, and they left the cows and whatever it was, chickens, so on. So not only did we have stand on guard, but we had to walk in the farm also.
Oh wow.
Walking in the field, milk the cows and so on, you know.
What did you think about farm life?
At this time, it was life-saving. This gave us the food.
Right, right.
Cheese all day long. Chicken, meat, everything.
We had one of our previous guests was a woman by the name of Bonnie who lives in our assisted living, and her she's from Tennessee, and her grandparents lived on a big farm, and so she was sharing with us how she had to milk the cows and ride on the tractor and all that good stuff. So tell us about what brought you here to our campus. What attracted you, and why'd you make the move?
Well, when Leo turned 90, he said to me, it's time. It's time. And I was working at the time. It wasn't time for me, but it was time for Leo. So we went shopping around. We looked all over. My sister was already living here. So we knew about this place, but I really did not want to come here because it's very far from where I worked. And I didn't know about Accessoride. And I was really very discontent, but he loved the place. The dining room was the first thing that shocked us. We came toward late afternoon, so the whole dining room was set. It was very elegant, very beautiful, and the view was unbelievable.
Right.
So, of course, it had a certain character to it, and it was kosher, which for us was very important.
Sure.
So we did move in, and for the first 3 years that I lived here, I took transportation to Queens every day to go to work, and every evening coming back. And the thing that struck me the most is many times I would come back late for dinner, and all the waiters and waitresses were very accommodating. They never said a word. They were never angry with me, and I came late. They were very nice. Really considerate.
Maybe you can share with the viewers about what your profession was, where you were working, what you did.
I was working at Queens College, and I was director of their Jewish outreach program for the Center for Jewish Studies. which required programming. It required training of the volunteers and fundraising. So it was a fairly responsible position, but it was also a very taxing position. So my hours were 10 to 2, but I'd come home sometime, come back here sometime around 7:30, 8 o'clock. So it was very tiring. And I was very thankful. I didn't have to cook. I didn't have to shop. I didn't have to do dishes. It was really very relaxing for me. It enabled me to work. Then Leo got very sick, and I had to leave the job. But I went back to work when he was better. I got a job at the Board of Education, and it was fascinating to me. I did a lot of data processing. I did a lot of typing of just reports, and I stayed there for 2 years. And then we had a terrible snowstorm. And after the snowstorm, I decided not to go back. So I didn't go back to that job, but I spent 3/4 of a year volunteering at Dorot, which is a Jewish volunteer program, but not only for Jews, it's an outreach.
Right.
In fact, today at 2 o'clock, I'm being interviewed by Dorot.
Woo! For a job?
No, I'm being interviewed for promotion.
Oh,
So,
very exciting.
Yes,
2
it
interviews
is.
in one day. Wow.
yes,
Well,
it is.
Well, we wish you the best of luck today.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're going to ace the interview. So,
Before you go,
yes,
can I add something?
of course.
It's a holiday now.
Yes.
So,
A Jewish holiday.
Jewish holiday. Kol Rina v'Yeshua, Kol Rina v'Yeshua bo letzadikim. Kol Rina v'Yeshua, Kol Rina v'Yeshua bo letzadikim. Yemin, yemin, yemin Adoshem oseh chayil. Yemin, yemin, yemin Hashem oseh chayil. Can I add one more?
No.
Well, I think we're running out of
That's
time, but that was quite good.
Ocho etzavehetu far, dabru davar velo yakom. Ocho etzavehetu far, dabru davar velo yakom, ki Immanuel. Ocho etzavehetu far, dabru davar velo yakom. Ocho etzavehetu far, dabru davar velo yakom, ki Immanuel.
Wow, Leo's got quite a voice. Thank you, thank you.
Well, Yom Kippur, I read the Torah and the Mafter and everything.
We'll have you do a duet someday with Larry. That could be interesting, huh? So before we finish our interview on Wendy Wednesdays, we usually end with 4 kind of silly questions. So the first question is, what is your favorite food? Any favorite foods that
What's
you
your
guys
favorite
have?
food?
Whatever they serve me,
That's a good answer.
I accept.
Okay.
But for lunchtime, I eat one day cream cheese on a slice of bread or challah,
Yeah?
or one day
Hummus.
hummus
Oh.
with chili, with fire. It burns.
Oh.
And I put olives on top or a piece of herring. And you know, we don't have us little things on the side or
sure.
coffee.
Okay.
And
Sounds good.
I'm happy.
Well, that's good. We like a happy Leo. Do you guys have a lucky number or no?
7.
7, okay. So if an actor or actress was going to portray you both in a big Hollywood movie, what actor or actress would you like to play in your role? You know, to portray your life.
Katharine Hepburn.
Oh. How about you, Leo?
He doesn't know.
I don't want to act.
I will say. Gene
My
Kelly.
wife says I'm acting.
Rita says Jim Carrey. Okay. And last question would be, if you were not a human, what animal would you be?
Dog.
A dog. Are you a dog lover?
Yes, but I'm frightened by them.
Oh.
But I do love them when someone else has them.
At a distance. Okay. All right. So before we close the show, first I want to say thank you so much to
And thank
Rita
you.
and to Leo. It is always such a pleasure to see and
welcome.
chat with you both. We have parting gifts for you, which is
It's not a Hershey bar?
Well, you might win the Hershey bar. We haven't gotten any phone calls today. I guess we're not into chocolate today, so I think you guys might win. So we have these limited edition coffee
You
mugs.
don't have to pay us.
So
That's
you each
very
get
nice.
a mug.
Thank you very
So we can
much.
drink your tea,
Lovely.
coffee, whatever you would like. So you can each have one. So thank you
you.
both very much.
And thank you.
And just a programming note for our viewers today. Don't forget that we have Bible study with Rabbi Noah, and that's coming up shortly at 11:15. We have Wellness with Deborah at 1:30, a concert with Larry at 2:30, and a rebroadcast of this show at 6:30. So on behalf of everyone from Good Morning Hebrew Home, thank you so much for tuning in today, and enjoy your day.
And thank you. And if someone would remove my...
Wendy?
Shh.